Binks and Boxy in the morning, and welcome back, everybody. We're here with another game. It is going to be not those teams up. Oh, yes, it is. Hawkeyes are Red Tails. Okay, it is Hawkeye. So we have Hawkeyes going up against. I completely forgot who my State Fair Community College. So there you go. We're gonna be hopping right on into the game. I'm not even gonna give Boxy a chance to speak. He can just smile and wave, boys. But now that we're back in the game, all you, Boxy.
Well, so we've already missed one game on stream. It was State Fair's pick of Cafe, which Hawkeye won 7-1. So pretty definitive there. Game 2, though, is going to be played on Oregon in the decider. Should we somehow need it, it'll be Bank. And I don't think I've actually casted Bank on NJCAA before. I don't even think I've casted Bank more than once or twice since it got added into the pool. That's how rare it is to see Bank. Operator Benz, though. Thatcher up first. Smoke his SAS counterpart. Ben last. In between Maverick and Cade, the two operators that revolve around hard preaching and denying of them. So the Smoke one is really interesting. Everything else is kind of standard, I feel like. What are your thoughts on them?
Really standard up until the smoke. So no surprise Maverick gets banned in retaliation. Maverick has the ability to really clear out on the side of any sort of external wall. Blue bunker is also a weird scenario where it can also be counted as external because there's no really route for attackers to deal with it. Whereas big tower, you can still look to defend from above, or you could come up from below. Blue bunker has that constant coverage. Same concept, same principle, I assume, but just an interesting thing to think about as there aren't actually any external walls that you can breach here on Oregon, which makes it really interesting and forces players to get into the map. And any external wall has sort of like a buffer room, like master bedroom. Once you get into there, you're still vulnerable from a C4 from below, but no, that's not destructible. GB, I'm sorry.
Well, I guess they learned that the hard way, and I'm actually surprised they got there without taking any damage because the impact literally was right next to their feet.
To locate a bomb and defuse it.
You guys ended up surviving. We're 5 seconds into the round, and the reinforcements are just now being finalized. So a little bit of poor timing there coming out from State Fair early on, but it could just be a slow start, and they could pick it up throughout the round.
So far, State Fair, I have to give you guys an update on the score. On our first map, it was on Cafe, and that was a Hawkeye win, 7-1. So very, very convincing win. And that I have to also highlight that was indeed State Fair's map pick. So on Oregon, this is the map that Hawkeye has chosen to go to. And that Flores drone sneaking right on by will be able to snag both those bandit charges. But are they there for the trick? They indeed are. They're going to opt to just leave both of them and play for a much more passive angle. Whether or not they've been droned out is yet to be seen. Meanwhile, all the way on the other side from the window, it's a dub to get lit up from the window.
Bomb located by
Well, we'll end up seeing if it actually is a dub, but so far 2 minutes left on the clock, or just under that rather, and everyone's still alive and well. Dub taking a little bit of damage, and there we go. GB with the entry. Lobster from Hawking will be the first one to fall here. Just over or just under the halfway mark so far, and the attackers need to start pushing in now. They have spread out across the map. They've taken a little bit of control. They have some attic control. They have some big window control. They have some attic/trophy side control, but they haven't definitively taken anything as of yet, and that needs to change in the next 30 seconds if they want to win this round.
Swing coming up from the bandit. Delayed reaction from Quispy will allow for bandit to stay alive for just a little bit longer with that smidge of HP. 2 nades in the hand. Why are those not being cooked out? We have to wonder. But GBE is going to be able to rotate all the way back towards site. And what's that? A Thunderbird and Arcona Stations to heal a bandit up to a sufficient amount of health. Who would have thought? Not Wagons, as they're going to be doing their job eliminating the Aruni of Carmody.
Well, Rooney's not getting healed up anytime soon. Finka finally pushes into the attic, though. Walks up, down bandit. There's another one, not looking in the right direction. That's 2 for Quispy. Oh my god, that was absolutely huge. Hawkeye now have the upper hand. Make that a 3-1. The plan is going down. It's all up to the Jaeger. The clutch just went out. Road Rage
Attackers
won
are
as he
activating the
tries
diffuser.
making backside and clutching it out. He's behind those bunks. Does a lot of damage. But will it be enough? Flores is playing quite far away, but everyone else is on the side. 30 seconds left on the timer, and keep in mind, 7 of those are needed to actually disable the diffuser. There we go. Jaeger finds the first one. Red Pink's coming out on the second one, but time is so very low, so very short. But the Kona station could come in clutch. No, though. Vagans with a third one in the round, and the first round goes to the attackers.
That was really, really convincing on the side of Hawkeye, where we saw them absolutely prounce. Once they want to make their move, it was not delayed on any aspect. And it's something that we've talked about previously in the night, where these teams have played quite slow and they don't work in unison. Hawkeye working in perfect unison there as they collapse onto the site, and it was with the clear intention of getting that case down, ultimately resulting in a successful round win. And they'll take the attacking half, which is arguably a harder aspect of Oregon, and send the defending side of State Fair right
Attackers need to
back to
locate
the
and defuse as
exact.
many bombs as
Nope,
they
that
can.
is going to be the basement site inside of Laundry as well as Supply.
I do want to see how State Fair set up for this one. Their defense on kids it didn't have any screaming huge mistakes, but they all lost gunfights one by one. And when Hawkeye spread out and they pushed from all possible direction, it felt like State Fair didn't know what to prioritize, what to hold, what to forfeit, and it ended up just costing them, manpower, utility, and they ended up
10
being
seconds to
overwhelmed by
insertion.
the split forces from Hawkeye pushing from all directions.
5 seconds left. Attackers
Okay.
are moving out to locate
Okay.
a bomb
Action
and defuse it.
phase. Now, I was just waiting. I really like that drum. I think that's the one thing that's been caught me off guard a few times. Now I'm like, what's this drum? Oh, it's the Hunger Games. Ooh.
Mm.
It's been really interesting. Like to see that the game is changing up sound. Speaking of sound, I'd rather they get rid of that sound and give us our sound back. That would have been really, really nice. Regardless,
A
2
bomb has
minutes,
been located.
35 seconds, and to no one's surprise, Hawkeye has not made a move. Why is that? Why would they not just rush? That's because you need to collect a lot more information. That's what they're going to opt to do. They have their operators locked in now that the round has started. They have the ability to push in towards site. But what's more important, that they do that or they get into position? I would argue that the position is the way to go. Pete, I'm sorry, but you only needed 2 to shoot out that hatch. I don't know why the full rotation was needed. Um,
Attackers
Regardless,
have
2
located a
minutes.
bomb.
Let's see what happens.
First kill does go in favor of HCC as Buck will finish down the Capcan. And well, the E1Ds have been placed, which means that, or the EDDs rather, E1Ds, another gadget. EEDs though from Capcan, they've been placed and they can do massive damage from beyond the grave, even if Capcan isn't in the map anymore. Kali will find the first one. She's walking into the site now. Red Pinks from the Lion Scan coming out, but doesn't check the doors. Takes 60 points of HP from that Capcan trap, and her position has now been revealed. The Legion will swing out, find one. Thunderbird with a follow-up onto the second one, and Quispy finally answered with one for HCC. Can he get 2? The Adrenal Surges are coming out. That it's a 3v3. Lion Scans also helping out the attackers that are already on the side. Nice shot through Highway, and make that tree! What a shot on the rotate. Lobster finishes the last one off in Freezer. That's a round for Hawkeye once again.
I want to highlight crosshair placement in that scenario,
Yeah.
where you saw Hawkeye have phenomenal crosshair placement. They knew exactly where to look. And when I say crosshair placement, I just don't mean that they're aiming in the right direction. I mean that they're, one, aiming in the right direction, the right pixel angle, but they're not aiming for body shots. They are looking to aim more for the head. They're getting rid of that head level, and if you peek at head level, you immediately have to shoot. You don't have to worry about readjusting. You don't have to worry about looking at different aspects and calculating within your
Defenders,
mouse of
protect your
how much
bombs
you're gonna
from
have to
being
move your
defused
mouse
by
to make
attackers.
things work. In this case, we actually saw that Hawkeye could peek out and just tap. Done. Not to mention the fact that that was a huge 3K from Quispy.
Are you telling me I'm not supposed to aim at people's crotches and then let the recoil take it up to their heads?
Maybe not. That might not be the best idea.
I've been playing this game wrong for like 6 years now. What the hell?
Well, maybe everyone else
10
is just
seconds
playing
to
it wrong.
insertion.
Maybe. Y'all are wrong, I'm correct. That is how it works.
5
Round
seconds
3
remaining.
though, Hawkeye keep increasing their advantage, and I am confident, or at least fairly
Attackers are
confident,
moving
they'll
out to
do the
locate a
same
bomb and defuse
going
it.
into this third round. We're back on Kids State Fair, just scrambling to get at least one defensive rounds in their, or at least one of their defensive rounds in their rotation, but it doesn't seem to be going their way just yet.
Yeah, they have the capabilities on the side of State Fair. They have the capabilities to be winning these rounds. It's just a matter of how Hawkeye is really manipulating every single aspect of these games. They're getting into key positions. And if I
Attackers
were
have
to
located
guess,
a
I'm going to see
bomb.
Wagons open this window in the exact same process. They're going to be trying their absolute best to completely disable this wall using nothing but a Flores. And there's no mute on the board, so that's not going to be a worry. Droning right on in. Let's check this out. They have a clear route. And that's one of the most powerful things about Flores. When you take that bandit over the mute, one, sure you can like completely disable, but Flores drones, which is something that State Fair has already been consistently taking, that's where you have to consider, okay, what do we change? You see that barricade? You didn't even have to use any other operator. You could just use a Flores drone. As we're going to see an explosive, and as I believe that it was a Flores drone that was used on that wall. So really convincing. Oh, they
Oh,
should have destroyed that Kona station. That's gonna be a free health boost for all the attackers now.
Even the fact that the castle is reinforcing that at all is very interesting to me, because that means that, well, there's one less angle that the attackers need to worry about. You don't need to actively swing and contest it. You can be very passive on that swing, but having it as a possibility, definitely worth it, at least in my mind. Catminer, I think I butchered that. I need to read that way slower. So yeah, Catminer, okay, I said that right. Or 9 as I'll call them in the future. They get the entry. Quispy falls 1 into GB. Leviathan also
Attackers have
falls
dropped the
short
bomb
to their
diffuser.
efforts. Actually, just a sea of refrags. Road gets beat. It's a 3v3 and a minute left as Lions can start coming out.
Rhodes is on the flank. I like this, but Quispy is well aware. They also have the two remaining players on site of It's a Dub as well as Caddy. Caddy does have a lot of options. Whether or not it will come into fruition is still yet to be seen. Lobster going for an aggressive
Bomb
swing
has been
in. It'll catch
located.
the head. A triple kill from Crispy on the other side of the site. They'll find Rhodes. Meanwhile, It's a Dub swinging it out. They're sitting right on Dorm's main hall on Trophy Doorway. They've been able to hide quite safely. Caddy now to fall to Atlas as Lobster is assisting them. Healed up from that Kona station. They won't even need to worry about getting shot as they'll lock right onto that head of the Valkyrie with the assist of their flashbang. Very, very good reaction time and a nice flick.
Well, another extremely clean route for Hawking, and we are on track for another 7-1, dare I say. What do you think? Do we think
I
that's
think
possible?
that they are en route, and it's going to be just a matter of how well State Fair is going to be able to really adapt and survive with how Hawkeye is going with these really aggressive attacks.
Yeah, it's really been working out
Attackers
great
need to
for
locate
Hawkeye
and
so
defuse
far,
as many
and
bombs as
somehow,
they
some
can.
way, State Fair, they just don't seem to find the answer to their defenses. The smoke ban is punishing them. I feel like having smoke to slow down, or at least kind of like mitigate for the speed at which Hawkeye pushes, would be very, very good for State Fair's defenses, because they just can't seem to slow down and get the pulse on the rounds that they're playing.
Attackers have
But,
located a
well,
bomb.
they bent the smoke. There is that. They cannot play him, and neither can their opponents when they get to defense. We will be seeing Kitchen and Dining for the first time,
10
and that's a
seconds left.
hard side to hold if you're not coordinated. The fact that we've seen
5
State
seconds
Fair
left
get
before
obliterated in rounds 1 through 3 makes me think that they're not coordinated enough to
Attackers are moving
properly
to
hold
defuse a bomb.
Kitchen and or Dining, and thus I think it's safe to assume this is going to be another Hawkeye round. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. 8 seconds into the round, though, as the last few jammers are getting placed down, a few rotates are being opened up. You know the drill. That's just how it is in this game. Sometimes the first 45 seconds in the prep phase is just not enough to get everything done, especially if you need to worry about multiple reinforcements, rotates, maybe put down a lot of stuff on the other side of the map. But Hawkeye will capitalize
The
on
attacker's
that,
bomb
or at
diffuser has
least
been
try
dropped.
to, as they push green very fast, trying to help or hoping to catch your opponent off guard. But it's a dub. He gets the entry with the Maestros all up. Pete's going to be the first one of all. 0-3-0 currently. No more ace. And with it, no more hard
Attackers
breach
recovered the bomb
for
diffuser.
Hawkeye. Osa pushing up green hallway, trying to find someone. Will spot both the mute jammer and the Capcan trap. Red ping both for their teammates, but that's all they can do, at least for now. With Buck and Finka patiently holding, there we go, a flashbang and a grenade coming out in tandem to A, get rid of any projectile denial, and B, get rid of the utility that was on those doors.
Yeah.
Codeman did fall down. Wagons also down.
Ooh.
So we are
Yeah,
in a
highly
3v3.
unfortunate for Wagons. This does look quite good for State Fairs. They do have the ability, but Lobster hiding behind this shield is going to prove quite difficult. Impact not able to disperse of it just yet, but with a minute 25 to go, it's a dub, getting that double kill. Still Wagons on the floor. This is essentially a 2v4, forcing Lobster to rotate out, and they can't even get around to revive their fallen comrade of Wagons as they slowly bleed out.
Yeah, Wagons does need some very serious help very fast. Nope, it's too late. GB finds one as well. And while GB has been down as well, Atlas is alone in a 1v3. Make that only four as GB gets picked up. That's not winnable, but well, at least you can pad your stats a little bit. Go for those kills. You never know.
Well,
45
you know what?
seconds left.
They're not treating it like it's unwinnable. The drone coming out is a really promising sign. They did spot out that cap can, and you saw that look back, third look back. There's no way they're gonna miss it now. And there's even a ping from their fellow teammates, making sure that they know, yep, there's a cap can. Don't hit it. Just waiting around. They're gonna see the feet, spraying it, find it. They'll shoot the cap can trap as well. Leviathan gonna take some hits in the process. Flashbang to be sent out, 22 seconds, and now we are definitely in the realm of unwinnable as the Buck will hold down that shift key and go right into the unwelcome arms of GB. Look at
Well,
that. They are on the board.
I would have hoped for at least one kill coming out from Adler just to pet their KD a little bit. Sadly, that didn't end up happening, but I guess it is what it is. And the 7-1, well, definitely possible, but the fact that State Fair won around early on gives me hope.
On a tertiary bomb site.
Yeah, they may be able to put up at least a little bit more work in. Maybe, just maybe, actually take a few more rounds out of Hawkeye's dead hands.
So they were able to obtain that round primarily through an overextension of Hawkeye and a bit of unexpected nature. Clearly, I don't think
Defenders
Hawkeye was
protect your
expecting
bombs
for them
from
to go
being
to that
defused by
tertiary bomb
attackers.
site, but it worked out quite well for them. So as we go back down to basement, I think we can assume the exact same role from Hawkeye, where they're in a more comfortable nature. They don't have irregularities to
Attackers have
catch them off
located a
guard.
bomb.
Because if we think, what do we play the most? We play the primary site the most, the secondary bomb site the most, and then those tertiary bomb sites are the ones that are weird, where they're expected to win for the attackers, but for a team like Hawkeye, they're not as well practiced. So that's where you have a little bit more theory crafting on our end to see why State Fair is able to obtain those rounds.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, we'll definitely end up seeing
5 seconds to insertion.
just that. We're holding basement once again, and well, from what I
Attackers'
can tell,
objective is to
we're
defuse
just
the
going to be
bomb.
reinforced and mended off right away. There's not going to be a shield. There's not going to be any ADSs or any other projectile denial there. They're just not going to hold it. They're going to force the attackers to either use their utility on elbow by hard breaching it, or they will force them to funnel through the doors instead. That's a viable plan in my opinion, even though most teams I know prefer holding elbow as well, just for an additional cross. But just because there's more ways to do it, well,
Yeah, they still have a lot of options. Attack now well underway from Hawkeye. They've made a clear intention of clearing out blue.
A bomb
Reasons
has
for
been
that,
located.
it's quite clear. It gives you a lot of access to both electrical and supply. Key aspects in taking this. But another thing you have to consider is the fact that they are all being pinged out, possibly by a bulletproof camera. I think that is the bulletproof camera of Caddy. It also begs the question of, if you're going to go for this push, the most essential part is going to be your ability to push up from pillar. Taking this pillar control first will be Atlas. Swing out to the unknowing arms of It's a Dub. They'll fall to the ground, relegated to watch their cameras for the rest of this round. Atlas.
Sadly,
Now,
IQ.
Attackers bomb
Yeah.
diffuser has been
Excuse me. Oh,
dropped.
did I like out?
yeah, you did. Like, it was really awkward, I'm not gonna lie. But regardless, flashes blinding the retinas of the two remaining defenders of both the GB and Rhodes as a
Attackers
triple
recover
kill
the
from
diffuser.
Atlas explodes here on the basement side of Oregon. Quispy now going for the plant, 8-3. Quite curious that it's going to be the Fink, but that most likely because the diffuser was dropped. Lobster swings around, and I think this will be another one of their lovely looking flicks as they'll go right towards the head of their opponent. Really good reaction time.
Well, 4-1 is the scoreline, and just 3 more coming out from Hawkeye. State Fair still only 6. Win this one out. And if somehow State Fair, especially after next round when they actually switch sides and they go to attack while Hawkeye defends, even if State Fair win this one, this is just game 2. They've already lost game 1, which means we would be seeing the decider of Bang. The more likely, very much more likely scenario,
Attackers need to
though,
locate and defuse bombs.
they win the series 2-0, and you and I both get to go to bed.
Oh, I'm not going to bed.
I'm going to bed. It's 5:13 a.m.
Take in. I normally there's been times when I've had to get up to go to work at the pool, and I'm getting there at 4:30. The fact that you're up at 5:30 is just absolutely absurd.
I know. I gotta come up with a fee that with a fee modifier that's like 1.2 times as much pay when I work 10
10
hours.
seconds left.
Oh, that would be a really smart thing to do. I should do the same for EU.
5
Imagine
seconds
having to get up super early to cast. I have to give my friend
Attackers
Cuppa
objective is
Frag
to
a
locate a bomb and
massive
defuse
tip
it.
of my hat. He's on the Pacific. He's on the Pacific end, so Western time or Pacific time, meaning he's 3 hours behind us right now. So, for example, if it was 12 o'clock for us, it would be. Sorry, if it was 3 o'clock for us, it would be 12 o'clock for them. Anyways, he had to get up at I want to say 4:30 in the morning to cast something that was later in the day for Europe, and he did an absolutely phenomenal job. So I tip my hat to all of
A bomb
anyone
has
who has
been
to put up
located.
with any sort of time zone change because of how difficult it is. So we actually have 2 Europeans in here, both Max D as well as Boxy. So thank
No,
you
no, no.
guys.
Max D, he's British. They've willingly exited Europe. Don't throw him in the same. Don't throw him in the same
We
pit as
also
me.
have Hawaii, so K-Tud's going absolutely ham with the time zones. Leviathan tells us to stop talking about all of these different time zones and instead talk about their game as Lobster gets a nice adrenaline surge. I wish I could have one of those. It would wake all of us up.
Oh, I would love to have one of those nanobots really would be coming in clutch now. Speaking of clutch though, Pete sprints down Attic, finds one. It's a dub shut down. That's 2 for Pete. Can he make it more? He's low on HP now, and Cadbury does find one Leviathan on one of his own. It's a 3v1 currently all up to Lobster to clutch this one out. And State Fair may not be out of contention just yet. This is going to be a tough 1v3 to win out. Lionskins are coming out, still 3 flashes in pocket, but that's about all the Lobster has going on for him.
There's a lot of capabilities here for the Lonesome Lion. No abilities, as you said, flashbangs, which they've used quite efficiently in the past. Noticing there's no hole that has been made. The drone to be sent out, because unlike the previous scenario, this is a lot more winnable for this lonesome. Oh my goodness, that's just. Where's the mute jammer located? Oh, that really hurts to see. Just giving up on the drone, but they have time to work with. Spraying through the wall that could open up the idea for State Fair to actually rotate into Attic and try to contest that angle. But regardless, they are playing it really close. The Legion spraying it out. It's going to be Lobster to wait an extra second. They're going to fling their crossers all around. But hey, is that a goo mine? Is that a needle? Yes, it is. Luckily, it does not take away 10 health from the initial stepping on it like it used to. Leaning into this angle, you'll see a nice little pixel pop up as the spray from the Iruni will catch the Lion off guard. And there's the second round for State Fair into the half, giving us a nice pleasant 4-2.
Sheesh, is what the kids would say, I think.
Boxy, aren't you still one of the kids?
I don't know. How old do you have to be to constitute it as a kid?
I don't know, but Thorn's looking pretty close. Regardless, let's talk about this Thorn. That's not what I was expecting to see, but Thorn is indeed in play. They have been for a while. Now,
Attackers
you
need to
told me something
locate and
quite
defuse
interesting
bombs.
about Thorn previously, that if you're not in a position to be able to get out of the radius of the Thorn trap, it will indeed kill you. This will
Attackers
either
have
force you to
discovered the
rotate
location of a
out
bomb.
of an area or possibly farther into it, which can make things really, really uncomfortable for any of the players on State Fair as they move towards the
Attackers have
attacking
located a
side.
bomb.
Also, quite interesting is that we see this tertiary bomb site. So, something that we could possibly see deployed by Pete is that they are looking to set up these Thorn gadgets on possible hatch drops
10
or in
seconds to
windows that
insertion.
would seemingly be safe, but players don't have the ability to rotate away
5
from.
seconds remaining.
So, really just to see how this Thorn actually works out.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
Either for a roamer, maybe even yourself if you're roaming as Thorn. But basically, they make some whirring noise when they go off, being that, like I said, you can set them behind you on the hallway, and if they go off, you will hear them go off or hear them get shot. So that's another use for them, although not as common as the ones you just listed. The drones are coming out from State Fair, and again, that's more than Hawking have done. They've relied on their gunfight a lot, but Util was very mid of them, if I can say so. If I'm still a kid enough to say that.
A good use of Zero's gadget. You're probably wondering, there's a mute jammer. He just shot on the wall. Why isn't that working? It's actually because Mute doesn't have the ability to jam the entire wall anymore. He has a nice spherical shape, which gives a lot of leeway to say, hey, that's why they were taking the bandit. And that is a really valid choice. But regardless, there's not too much of an emphasis of needing to hold this wall for the entirety of the round, as Hawkeye can just really wait things out just a little bit longer if they don't have to hold the second floor. Of course, attic is a really key part, but the retake is a possibility. And once again, why is not everyone taking their armor, as Caddy will really emphasize that, well,
Attackers
armor
dropping
doesn't matter.
diffuser.
You just have to hit the head.
Oh, you gotta hit those shots indeed. 90 seconds left, and the attack is slowly but surely shaping up. The first few gunfights already happening. Mute having an engagement all across attic. Castle there to back him up. It's going to be Thorn on the entry. Can he make it 2? No, they dish out a lot of damage, get 0, but they end up falling back instead. Sledge now on a sliver of HP. The red and white is going to be flashing for the entire game.
Attackers have recovered their
Crispy is going to
diffuser.
be on the same swing, and if whoever's in front of the wall just moves for just a second, well, they could meet their demise very, very early on. 55 left, and the attackers, they are, at least on paper, gaining the advantage.
They definitely have. With this plant going down, Pete's forced to rotate right back up into the unwelcoming arms of the sledge, who they previously lit up, so GB able to get that control. Meanwhile, upstairs, Quispy has to worry about every single push combination from above. So Lobster stuck down below, as well as Quispy. They have very few options sprayed from who knows where. Leviathan to find the head of Lobster, all left up to Quispy, and they don't know where to be looking. And this game looks like it's all of a sudden neck and neck, as 4-3 seems inevitable.
Well,
Shot. There's no time. There's no time. We had an awkward pause as we waited in silence to see if that kill was going to come out. They'll wait it out, save the KD. I don't blame them. 9-4 is a really nice split. As the timer hits 0, the attackers take it, and previously mentioned 4-3 now for State Fair. They've really brought this one into question. Of course, Hawkeye did go to their tertiary bomb site as a first site, so that is a really weird point. How on earth has this all of a sudden gone from a 7-1 on the opponent's map pick to a 4-3 on their own map pick?
I don't know, man, but I just want to go to sleep. Can we please wrap this one up, Hawkeye? I got a feeling they're just playing with their prey at this point. It's just like, we got this in the bag. We're just gonna start with our tertiary bomb site, and then we're just gonna kind of troll a little bit, and that's all fun and games. But old Foxy, well, he's gonna complain. He wants to go to sleep. He's already seen a lot of great Siege today, and he would love to end this on a high note. Quick but high.
And I think a big win from Hawkeye, sending them, I believe Hawkeye is the one who has qualified for playoffs, which means that in every single regard,
10 seconds
they
to go.
should be winning this matchup a lot more convincingly, as we saw with that first map.
5 seconds left.
So they could be saving strats. That is a possibility as playoffs is on the horizon.
Attackers are
But
moving
it
to
doesn't
defuse
change the
bomb.
fact that they should still be winning those gunfights. They should not be putting themselves in weird positions that allow for State Fair to be taking full advantage of them. And State Fair has done a very competent job of watching for those angles. And I'm only going to say this once, but Pete, for Pete's sake, get your armor.
Oh no, please no. By the way, looking at the scores, this is Group 1. I'm pretty sure if State Fair win this, they are tied points wise with Hawkeye, and then I assume due to head to head off of having beaten Hawkeye, they actually qualify instead of Hawkeye. So not all is won yet. If our production could confirm that, that would be very, very poggers, champ. Please and thank you. But until then, we'll work under the working assumption that's the thing.
This has been a really aggressive defense from Hawkeye, and it could easily backfire on them as a Claymore will be placed. Audio cue from Atlas. They can sneak right on around, catch the Finka off guard. They'll down them, but hey, that's Finka, which means they can boost themselves right on back up. They'll wait, notice the down player. They have to swing. Thank goodness Pete is there to assist with the impact hole. But do they know about the player up above? Shots ring out. Atlas surely knows now. They clear out the C4, or not the C4, the Claymore if they need to rotate back. This gives them a plethora of options, but they'll go for the safe pick, which is to not run back, but slowly shuffle back in an awkward way. Atlas will be downed, unbeknownst to the players of State Fair.
Oh, Atlas standing on a drum before getting down definitely didn't help. Double for Pete though, and GB finds one of his own. 3-4 killing again.
Will have to really make up and use the fact that they have a player advantage. Road Rage gonna find Lobster, evening things out, as well as Rhodey has the ability to use these shields in a really convincing way. But Pete with a triple kill. They have not given up above. Quispy to deny the ace now, but Rhodey stuck inside a sight, no diffuser in hand. Such an awkward position, but that's a double kill to their name. 40 seconds, they have to find the case, which is on the second level, and I believe both Wagons and Pete have rotated all the way up there.
Oh, we'll definitely see what ends up happening. I just want to preface this by saying I hate my internet for lagging out like that. I'm so sorry. 25 seconds left, and like I said, Pete, 3 on the round for him already. Maybe, possibly even a 4th one coming up. Road Rage, very low on HP. A Sliver will kill them if he refers coming out from the Valkyrie in the right direction. But the Osa, she finally got the diffuser. Now she's just chilling. She has no time to push down. And there we go. Vagans with the second one. It's only 3 for Pete. The round still goes in favor of Hawkeye.
If we look at that round, Hawkeye did a really good job of just monopolizing that second round. I mean, Pete did a phenomenal job of monopolizing that second. It's not second round, second floor or main floor, depending on how you'd like to call sites. I think that's a really interesting argument. Really quickly, is it basement? Is it first floor? And then did you go 1, 2, 3, or basement, main floor, second floor? I think
That's a debate that I've had. So what most people say is basement, first floor, second floor. What I'm used to say, at least like how it is in my language, if you translate directly, it would be basement, ground floor, first floor. So first floor is already elevated. But most people, especially over the pond over there, they don't do that. So I guess we'll just stick to the convention
Bomb located
of
by attackers.
basement, first floor, second floor, etc., etc. Round 9 and State Fair are doing much better than anticipated against Hawkeye, but Hawkeye still has a nice cushion lead. Only 2 rounds separates them for locking themselves in for playoffs.
10 seconds left.
so. I just want to confirm, like, are both of these teams in playoffs, or are they fighting for
No.
playoffs right now?
If I read the scoreline correctly,
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
if State Fair wins, they are tied with Hawkeye in terms of points, and they win head to
They
head.
win head to head. I remember
yeah.
that from last week.
If
Well, that won't help.
yeah, if Hawkeye wins, they win.
Yeah, that is quite an interesting predicament. Hawkeye really proving that they do have to win this game, and they have a huge opening pick of the buck. The reason why Buck is so influential on a site like Second Floor is they're one of these very few operators that can go down below, shoot up above with that skeleton key, or any sort of explosive ways to destroy the floor paneling, and it makes the life of the defenders extremely uncomfortable knowing that you could have the floor beneath you, not above you, but beneath you, blown apart at any moment.
Well, good thing that Azami's a thing because the new operator can counter just that. She's been used a lot to create new angles in the bump sides and also to fill in holes made by attackers, be that in hard breaches or floors or walls or anything else that you can think of. So I can't wait to see that operator used at a competitive level, maybe even at a little bit of higher level. I do think there's going to be plenty of innovation when it comes to her, but I do want to see how she works out.
Caddy to find a returning frag onto Pete, who previously came up huge with a 3K. You can see that Ying Candela thrown in through the drone hole. That's not the best spot as it gets caught behind the barrel and won't be able to flash out, besides give a lot of information. Atlas also on the flank will not be spotted out. And for Pete's sake, get on the cams. You have Valkyrie on the board. Why is Lobster on the cams and you're not? You're the one who's dead. Oh my goodness, pet peeves are really coming into effect. Caddy, and I gotta give a huge shout out both Rody as well as It's a Dub for being on your cameras.
Well,
Talking to you, Pete. Talking to you, Atlas.
Talking to Pete? Okay, 1 minute left. The attackers need to start commencing their push. 3v3 Ying is low on HP. Make that a 2v3. Quispy finds another one onto GB, and Ying then gets down. Leviathan all alone. One more Adrenal Surge in pocket, but it's not even ready yet. No grenades either, as they've used all of those. Lobster waiting patiently to swing there on the white stairs. Finds the head, and that's another round for Hawkeye, as they're only 1 round off of pushing match point in series.
That 5-3 scoreline is one that is really. Oh, it is match point. You completely scared me there. Oh my goodness! I thought I lost time.
No, I'm losing it. It's 5:30
It's Boxy
a.m.
bedtime. Boxy bedtime.
Boxy's bedtime was 6 hours ago.
Oh man, that's always a scary concept to think about. Of just that you get to go to bed at 5:30 and wake up for hopefully, I don't know when your classes are, but hopefully later on.
I gotta leave home at 9 a.m.
Oh my goodness, that's a nice 3 hours of sleep. But
Yeah.
we are on match point for Hawkeye, and that's been obtained through their consistent use of rotates and the inability of State Fair to essentially watch their flank. They've done a phenomenal. No.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
Oh, are you? I'm sorry, I got a fire alarm. Max D's gonna take my spot.
Oh,
Oh
really?
my goodness. Can you not hear the fire alarm?
I can hear some buzzing sound, but I can't tell what it is.
I got a fire alarm in my building.
Well, I hope you stay safe and
10 seconds to
we'll
insertion.
save your PC so I can hear your beautiful voice.
All right.
5 seconds remaining.
Farewell, everyone. I'll be
Attackers
back.
are heading
Stay
out
good.
to
I love
defuse the
you.
bomb.
Well, it is just me. I am joined by beautiful K-Dad. I'm joined by even more beautiful Max. Just kidding. They're both equally beautiful. I'm contractually obligated to say this, but it is a 3-6, possibly match point, or well, definitely match point, but it could be the last round of what we'll be seeing in the series right here. And the attackers, they have already seized control of the top of this. Excuse me, of the big tower. They're also pushing the base of that same tower. GB on the other side of the map, not exactly sure where they want to go just yet. They at least get rid of the cam, so there is that. Not sure if I'll be solo casting this or if I'll be joined by any of my fellow comrades in this call, but we'll see. Okay, Kyler's with me. Let's go. How you doing, Kyler?
All right. Well, with that, I'm gonna be honest with you, Boxy. You're gonna need to walk me through this final round because I see a lot of things going on. There's a smoke down here, drone going out. I'm seeing a lot of movement down in the basement level here, but State Fair, I mean, trying to hold on to the sites. I don't know quite how they're gonna push in. There's a nice peek, some swinging, but all right, for now, intel given.
Yeah, some intel has been given. The OSA shield, the bulletproof shield that you saw in front of the smoke. Well, I don't know. It got destroyed now, I think. I'm not sure. There you go. Another one's going to get placed down, though. A little bit of barb there just to cause some minor inconveniences for the attackers. And speaking of attackers, they get the entry, but they're soon refragged as Wagon equalizes the score count. 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock. And the attackers, they need to start pushing into the side because they haven't really done much.
Yeah, just trying to find that way in, poking and prodding around so far. Finds a trap, shoots it around the backside for now. But outside of that, it looks like the rest of Hawkeye just content to hit. And here it goes, drops through the hatch. They hear it, but gets one trade, and okay, there you go.
Well, Wagon's already done his part, but can they make more? Quispy there to back him up. It's a 2v4 now. Pete also hunting for kills. Make that a 1v4. It's just Chibi Q is trying to...
Oh, no.
Will it be enough? No, it will not. Hawking, they win this series off of time. Good game in chat, and it was a good game indeed. 7-1, 7-3. Thank you for joining me for, well, half a round. Much appreciated. This was our first cast together, Kyler, and I think it went swimmingly. Well, welcome back to my camera, because it's just me. I'm not sure if we're actually doing an interview. Okay, we're not doing an interview. So, thank you so much for everyone thank you so much everyone for joining, for listening to me and Bing. Sadly, Bing's had to go. We all hope he's safe. You all should check up on him on Twitter, Bing's cast. Also, this is Boxy. Once again, thank you to KTAT, thank you to Max for just being wonderful observers, producers. The whole prod team over here at Esports U is really something else. And we're going to have a student cast up next of which game exactly? Oh, so we're staying on R6. It's going to be a student cast of Weston Tack and Barton. So it's probably going to be a one-sided sweep, but how great Barton have been throughout NJCAA this season. I'm pretty sure they're still 6-0, so undefeated. But definitely stay tuned, watch that match as well, and be as nice to the student casters as you've been to Binks and I. So have a good one, y'all. Thank you for tuning in.